The film opens with a beat-up old blue Mustang flying through the air, as its driver launches it at high speed through a neighborhood in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Nick works for Vito's Pizza, which has a strict 30 minutes or less delivery policy. Nick makes it to his destination, 2 towns away from Vito's Pizza, in 34 minutes, 4 minutes late. 2 teenagers answer the door, proud of themselves for gaming the system, and get another pizza free. Nick confronts them, telling them that they reminds him when he was their age, always trying to get drunk when got the chance. But they say that they don't have anything in the fridge. So Nick decides to scam the scammers by telling them he can get them beers if they give him the money. The kids have no idea what they are doing but think it would be cool to have beers. Nick heads home and is dejected with his life, where he drinks beer on his porch waiting for his friend Chet to get home from a date. Chet's actually sitting in a parked car outside with his girlfriend. She finishes what she's doing and then quickly moves to kiss him. When he finally walks over, Nick invites him to watch the Lethal Weapon series he rented, but Chet says he's tired and has to work tomorrow. Nick tells him to just call in sick because Chet's a substitute teacher. Chet scolds Nick, telling him that he's an adult with a career now and can't stay up all night watching old action movies and drinking beer with his pizza delivering friend. The next day, we meet with Dwayne and his dimwit sidekick Travis are target shooting watermelons in an old scrapyard. Though both are dim bulbs, Dwayne is the leader and Travis is the even dimmer follower. The two use crossbows, detonators, and other weapons to blow up the watermelons. Dwayne and Travis have been friends since childhood, and though in their mid to late 30s they still behave like immature teenagers. At Dwayne's father's house, the two watch Friday the 13th, 3D, where Dwayne starts heckling Jason Voorhees on the screen as if characters in the film can hear him. As they're carrying on with these pantomimes, Dwayne's father the Major walks in, berating Dwayne and his friend for acting so stupid. The Major is a retired United States Marine with little tolerance for his son's antics. Dwayne is upset and asks Travis to go. As they leave, it's revealed the Major won a $10 million lottery prize in 1998, which funds an opulent lifestyle for him. The Major's house is filled with all sorts of high-tech gadgets, along with a driveway full of expensive trucks with hyper-patriotic American flag and eagle airbrush detailing. Dwayne is jealous of his father's money and wants to get control of what's left from the lottery winnings before the Major spends it all on more trucks. Meanwhile, Nick appears to be on another Vito's Pizza run but instead is heading to visit Kate, who works at some sort of event planning company. Kate is Chet's twin sister. Nick has harbored a romantic interest in her for some time. While they are talking and enjoying the pizza, Kate tells Nick that she has been offered a job at a hotel in Atlanta. Nick clearly doesn't want Kate to move to Atlanta, so he tells her bad things he's heard about Atlanta from various rap songs. Across town, in a sleazy strip club, Dwayne's bought a lap dance from a stripper named Juicy, who soon realizes that Dwayne's father has a few $1 million. Juicy talks Dwayne into hiring an assassin she knows from Detroit who will kill his father so Dwayne can inherit his money, and presumably give Juicy a large cut. At Chet's apartment, Nick tells his friend he doesn't want Kate to move to Atlanta. Chet tells Nick to leave his sister alone, and that she's an adult pursuing her career, unlike Nick who is just a pizza delivery boy in his late 20s. The two then engage in a pissing contest, trying to one-up each other by revealing bad things they did to each other, until Nick tells Chet he had sex with his twin sister Kate after prom. Chet is horrified. The two then wrestle around on the floor for dominance, upset with each other. Chet tells him to get out of his apartment, upset with him for deflowering his twin sister. Back at the Major's mansion, Dwayne and Travis are cleaning the pool for $10 an hour. Dwayne believes he has no job because his dreams are too big to allow him to do anything else, including schemes for various businesses that will make him rich, if only he had the seed money to get them going, such as a Chinese restaurant or a tanning salon. Travis, of course, thinks Dwayne is a genius. Dwayne tells Travis of the plan to hire an assassin to kill his father. It will cost $100,000 to hire the assassin, something Travis is disturbingly very quick to agree to. They then hole up in Travis' garage where they continue to plot ways to get the $100,000 for the assassin. Dwayne entertains the fantasy of using hypnotism to force a man to rob a bank for them, but Travis reminds Dwayne how adroit he is manufacturing explosives, so the two decide to find someone, strap a bomb to him, and force him to rob a bank if he wants to live. While they are trying to decide what sort of guy they could lure into this trap, a commercial for Vito's Pizza airs and Dwayne decides to use a pizza delivery guy as his victim. Nick was supposed to be off work, but Vito made him take one last pizza run. Nick makes it to the scrapyard 15 minutes late and is worried he will have to pay for another late order. When he knocks on a derelict trailer to deliver the pie, Dwayne answers in a creepy gorilla mask. Nick's nervous and tries backing away but Travis knocks him over the head until he passes out. When he comes to, it's daylight and they have strapped a bomb to his chest. Nick tries calling for help, but the scrapyard is very isolated. There's a lock on the front with a 6-digit combination, which Dwayne says he'll give Nick when Nick delivers him $100,000. Dwayne tells him to just rob a bank. And that he has 10 hours until the bomb explodes, so he better move quickly. To demonstrate the bomb, Dwayne detonates a similar vest that is rigged to a teddy bear. Nick's told the pair will be watching him, and if he goes to the police they will make him explode like the bear. Nick's speeding out of the scrapyard, doing whatever they say. Nick heads to the school where Chet works and interrupts his teaching. Outside in the hallway, Nick shows Chet the bomb and begs Chet to help him. Chet ultimately agrees. He says he doesn't want this to affect his future and regrets letting the guy he knew blow up when he could have helped. Chet makes Nick promise him that if he helps him with this that he will leave his sister alone. The two leave the school to figure out a way to get the bomb vest off Nick. Meanwhile, Juicy the stripper meets with her assassin from Detroit, a Mexican named Changa. Changa agrees to kill the major, and Juicy tells him arrangements have been made to get him his $100,000 for the hit. Back at Chet's apartment. Chet's been looking up ways to disarm the bomb on Wikipedia, with little luck. The two try thinking about anything they've ever seen on film that could help them either disarm the bomb or rob a bank to get the $100,000. But they decide to rob the bank, and Nick tells Chet they should hit the bank that's near the Olive Garden in a shopping center. They proceed to a Family Dollar store to get bank robbing supplies. While Dwayne and Travis are watching them, and keeps talking about his tanning salon or brothel idea. After they leave the store, Chet's spray painting the toy guns black so they look more real. They then decide to steal the red Datsun owned by Chet's parents' neighbors, the Fishers, because they need a fast getaway vehicle. They drive over to the Fishers' house and are looking for the keys to the car in the garage when Mr. Fisher walks in on them. Wearing their masks and brandishing their fake guns, telling him that if he doesn't cooperate, they will come after his son and kill him. They rob him of his keys and steal the car, with Chet politely saying thank you. Chet is worried he was recognized because there are only 4 Indian families in Grand Rapids, and he realizes his brown skin and hands were visible through the robber's disguise. Nick claims he wants to make a quick stop and quit his pizza delivery job before they rob the bank. Nick gets his way and they drive to Vito's Pizza, where Nick slips inside, quits, and then races out the back door. While Dwayne and Travis are watching him, they get suspicious of Nick, so Travis decides to follow him. Nick actually runs down the street to where Kate works. Nick takes Kate onto the roof of her building and tells her that he's never forgotten the prom night, that he has feelings for her, then he rushes away. Nick doesn't realize it, but Travis was following him the whole time. Travis reports back to Dwayne on his cell phone that Nick came to visit Kate. Nick races back to the car and finds Chet inside eating hamburgers. They then speed to the bank. The two decide to pretend to be Hispanic criminals when they burst into the bank to rob it. Nick will be Cruz and Chet will be Louise when they're inside the bank. When they burst in, the bank is filled with very nice people. Nick and Chet get them all onto the floor. Nick orders a security guard to throw his gun away. As he does, the gun accidentally goes off and shoots a man in the leg. While Chet orders a bank employee to get $100,000 into a bag. She goes into the vault to get the money and slipped a blue dye back into the money, per bank policy. They get 2 bags full of money. Nick feels bad for the guy who got shot and decides to peel off some money and give it to the man. When he does so, the blue dye explodes in the man's face. Nick and Chet are upset, and tell her to get a new pack of money with no blue dye in it. Nick then give her a plastic trash bag, but what Nick and Chet don't realize is that the blue dye packs are in all the money. The bank's alarm goes off and they flee the bank, but stopped outside by a cop who pulls a gun on them. Nick opens his coat to show his bomb. The cop take one look at the bomb and run away crying. Nick and Chet escape in the Datsun and engage in a high-speed police chase. Nick uses his pizza delivery driving skills to evade the cop cars, and getting a cop car or 2 totaled at intersections when Nick guns it through red lights. Unfortunately, a police car manages to smash their car at the intersection. They escape the scene of the crash on foot, with Chet wounded by car shrapnel, and the two calmly walk onto a bus to get away. Dwayne and Travis arrive at the scene and join passersby who are videotaping the wreckage for YouTube, pleased that Nick has actually pulled off the robbery. Walking down a suburban street to reclaim Nick's Mustang, Nick then called Dwayne and arrange a pickup of the money. Dwayne's waiting for the call at a Mexican restaurant. He then calls Juicy, tells her to meet Nick at an abandoned bridge somewhere in just a few minutes. Dwayne revels in more fantasies about owning his tanning salon, as Travis starts to realize Dwayne wants to kill Nick by detonating the bomb after they've got the money. Travis believed Nick would go free once this was all over. When Dwayne gets up to use the bathroom, Travis disables the bomb by switching the cell phone numbers, so if Dwayne tries to deactivate the bomb, he will call the wrong number and nothing will happen. Nick's waiting at the bridge when Changa and Juicy show up. Chet's hiding somewhere off screen. Nick gives Changa the money and asks for the code to deactivate the bomb, but Changa doesn't have it, since Dwayne had no intention of deactivating the bomb. A fight ensues, with Chet joining in to smack Changa upside the head, before Chet and Juicy tussle. Nick and Chet flee with the money. Chang'e is furious and tells Dwayne that he is now going to assassinate Dwayne, since he doesn't have the $100,000 anymore. Dwayne is terrified that the assassin is now coming after him. Travis then tells Dwayne about Kate, and how she is a way to get the money back from Nick without killing anyone. All they have to do is kidnap her. Dwayne and Travis then rush to do this, while avoiding Chang'e, who wants to kill Dwayne. The Major is in his mansion watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Chang'e breaks in to assassinate Dwayne. The Major picks up a pen gun and moves stealthily through his house. Chang'e appears from behind him and points a gun, telling him he's just looking for Dwayne. The Major tells Chang'e he is not afraid of death and would not tell Chang'e where Dwayne was, though he was not surprised that Dwayne had tried to hire Chang'e to kill the Major, ultimately shooting Chang'e in the neck, before Chang'e gets on top of him and shoots him in the stomach. Chang'e heads to the bathroom to pour alcohol over his wound, telling himself in the mirror that he's a pimp and needs to be tough. Chang'e then searches the house for clues to where Dwayne may be and ends up finding a crudely drawn map of the scrapyard that Dwayne and Travis use for their antics. Dwayne calls Nick, telling him they kidnapped Kate. Dwayne orders him to go to the scrapyard. Chet is furious since he realized his sister is involved in this mess. Nick and Chet then speeding there to deliver the money and rescue her. There's now just 4 minutes and 9 seconds before the bomb explodes. Dwayne's wearing his gorilla mask again while Travis is wearing a flamethrower on his back that makes him look like a Ghostbuster on the Planet of the Apes. Nick produces the cash and Dwayne gives him the code, 696969, which Dwayne reveals to be his favorite position. They also let Kate go as Nick hands the money. Dwayne tells them to leave the scrapyard, but Nick thinks Dwayne will shoot them in the back if they step into the car. So he claims he has a sniper hidden somewhere who will shoot Dwayne and Travis. They don't believe him, but a red dot appears on Dwayne's forehead. It's shown the sniper is actually Chet, using the laser pointer that Nick bought him when he was made a real teacher and not just a substitute. Chet moves the laser pointer lower so that it appears the sniper is going to shoot Dwayne in the chest. Dwayne throws his gun, but just as Nick and Kate are about to leave, Chang'e arrives, punches Nick in the face. Then Chang'e turns his attention to Dwayne and fires his gun at him. Travis fires up the flamethrower next and scorches Chang'e, burning him to a crisp. Chang'e gets one last shot off, however, and punctures the tank on Travis' back, making the flamethrower explode. In this melee, Chet grabs Kate as Nick ducks away to grab the money and place the bomb vest into Dwayne's car after resetting the timer to explode. Chang'e dies. Travis lives. Dwayne gets in the car to chase down Nick, Chet, and Kate and get the $100,000 back. Since Nick knows the bomb is about to explode, he maneuvers his Mustang to avoid the blast. Dwayne's car catches fire and flips off the road. Nick, Chet, and Kate then start thinking about what they could do with all that money. When Chet starts flipping through the stacks of bills, the blue dye explodes in their faces and all over the car. After the credits roll, there is a quick commercial for Major Tan, the tanning salon that it appears Dwayne, Travis, the Major, and Juicy open next to the Family Dollar store.